They say the mind is the first to fade, like ink on a page exposed to the sun. But what if this fading is not an end, but an invitation? An invitation to find a different kind of strength, one rooted not in effort, but in ease. There is a way to reclaim your focus, to bring clarity back into your life with a simple practice for just 1 minute a day. The final step is the key to it all, so walk with me to the end of this path. It will change everything. Emptying cup. We all begin this life with a mind that is like an empty cup, open, receptive, and curious. We fill it with experiences, with knowledge, with joys, and with sorrows. This is natural, this is part of the journey. But in the world we have built, this cup is now overflowing. It is constantly being filled, not just with our own life, but with endless streams of information, opinions, worries, and distractions. There is no longer any space. And so, when we wish to place something new and important into our cup, a precious memory, a new skill, the name of a loved one, it simply spills over the side. We think, my memory is failing, but is that the truth? Or is it that our vessel is simply too full to receive anything more? This is not a failure of age, but a consequence of our environment. The first step towards regaining clarity is not to try and cram more in. It is to have the courage to stop, to recognize that we must first gently, patiently pour some of the water out, not to lose what is inside, but to make space for the present moment to land. The mind has been trained to be in a constant state of agitation, always moving, always processing. It has forgotten its natural state, which is one of peaceful observation. This constant mental noise creates a fog that obscures not only our past memories, but also our ability to form new ones. How can we remember a conversation if we are only half present? Our minds already rushing to the next thought, the next worry, the next task. To truly remember, we must first learn to be where we are. This journey back to memory begins not with an exercise of the mind, but with the creation of inner space. It requires us to gently set down the heavy burden of constant thinking and simply allow ourselves to be empty for a moment. This emptiness is not a void, it is a space of potential. It is the fertile ground from which clarity and memory can once again begin to grow, naturally and without force. We must first give our mind a rest, a true and deep rest from its endless work, finding stillness. Once we understand the need to create space, we begin to search for stillness. But what is stillness? It is not necessarily a quiet room. You can be in the most silent forest and still feel a storm raging within your own mind. True stillness is an internal state. It is the calm surface of a deep lake. When the water is agitated by the winds of thought and emotion, the reflection it shows is fragmented, distorted, and unclear. You cannot see the sky, the trees, or your own face with any clarity. But when the wind ceases and the water becomes perfectly still, the reflection is perfect. The entire world appears within it, sharp and true. Our mind is this lake. For decades, the winds have been blowing without rest. We have been taught to value action over inaction, doing over being. We have unlearned the ancient art of simply being still. The moment we have nothing to do, we reach for a phone, a book, a distraction. We feel an itch, an anxiety in the quiet. This is because we have come to identify ourselves with the noise. We believe that we are our thoughts, our plans, our worries. The silence feels like a loss of self, but the opposite is true. Stillness is where we find ourselves again. It is in the space between the thoughts where our true nature resides. Finding stillness is not about forcing the mind to stop. That is like shouting at the wind. It only creates more disturbance. Instead, it is a gentle turning of our attention. It is a decision, a quiet commitment to simply stop feeding the agitation. You make a choice to sit down and not try to solve anything, not try to figure anything out, not try to achieve anything. For just a few moments, you give yourself permission to do nothing. At first, this will feel difficult. The mind will protest. But with gentle repetition, you are retraining your whole being. You are showing your mind that stillness is not a threat, but a sanctuary. It is a safe harbor where you can rest and from which you can see the world and your own life with a profound new clarity. Body anchor. The mind, in its agitated state, is like a small boat. tossed on a stormy sea. It is carried away by every wave of thought, every gust of emotion. To try and control the waves is a futile effort. The ocean is too vast. So what do? We do not try to stop the ocean. We drop an anchor. An anchor does not stop the storm, but it holds the boat steady in one place. It provides a point of stability in the midst of the chaos. For our wandering minds, our body is this anchor. It is always here, always in the present moment. Your thoughts may drift to the past or race toward the future, but your body is always, undeniably, right here, right now. The problem is that we have become disconnected from our bodies. We live almost entirely in our heads. We can spend a whole day without truly feeling our own physical presence. Re-establishing this connection is the key to anchoring the mind. It is a very simple but profound shift in attention. Instead of being lost in the stream of thoughts, you intentionally bring your awareness to a physical sensation. It could be the feeling of your feet firmly planted on the floor. Feel the texture of the ground, the solidness, the gentle pressure. Your feet are holding you. They connect you to the earth. Or perhaps you bring your awareness to your hands. Notice the weight of them as they rest in your lap. Feel the warmth, the space between the fingers. Do not judge it. Do not analyze it. Simply feel it. The mind will try to pull you away. A thought will arise. What am I doing? This is silly. I have so much to do. That is the wave. The practice is to notice the wave, acknowledge it without judgment, and then gently, compassionately return your attention to your anchor, back to the feeling of your feet, back to the feeling of your hands. Each time you do this, you are strengthening your ability to choose where you place your focus. You are not fighting your mind. You are giving it a place to rest. You are taming the wild horse not by breaking its spirit, but by gently showing it a calm and stable home. The body is our home. By returning our attention to it, we come back home to ourselves, to the calm center that is always present, even in a storm. Breathing river. Of all the anchors available to us in the body, one is supreme. It is the breath. The breath has a special quality because it is both an unconscious and a conscious process. It continues on its own, a faithful rhythm of life, from our very first moment to our very last. And yet, we can also bring our conscious awareness to it, observing it, feeling it. The breath is a constant flowing river within us, and it is the most powerful tool we have for returning to the present moment. The practice itself is the essence of simplicity. You do not try to control the breath. You do not take a deep breath or hold your breath. You simply allow it to be exactly as it is, and you watch it. You become an observer. You can rest your attention at the tip of your nose and feel the cool sensation of the air as it enters and the slightly warmer sensation as it leaves. You can rest your attention on your chest or your abdomen and feel the gentle rise with the in-breath and the gentle fall with the out-breath. You choose one spot and you rest your awareness there, as if you are a gatekeeper watching people pass through a gate. When a thought arises, it is like a cloud passing in the sky. Your task is not to jump on the cloud and fly away with it. Your task is to remain on the ground, notice the cloud and watch it drift by. And then you gently return your gaze to what is always here, the endless, faithful rhythm of your breathing. This simple act of observation has a profound effect. It creates a space between you and your thoughts. You begin to realize, on a very deep level, that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who is aware of the thoughts. This is a monumental shift in perspective. It frees you from being a prisoner of your own mind. The thoughts of worry about memory, the thoughts of regret, the thoughts of anxiety about the future, they are just clouds passing. They are not you. They are not solid. By anchoring yourself in the river of the breath, you find a place of unwavering stability. You are no longer swept away. You are the calm, steady witness on the riverbank. And from this place of calm, everything becomes clearer. The world becomes more vibrant, your connections become deeper, and your memories, both old and new, find a peaceful and welcoming home in which to reside. 1 minute. Now we come to the practice itself. And you will see that all the preparation, all the understanding we have built flows into this single, beautiful moment. The exercise is just this. For 1 minute, you will sit and be with your breath. Just 1 minute, 60 seconds. That is all. The power is not in the duration, but in the consistency. 1 minute every single day is far more transformative than 1 hour once a week. It is like a single drop of water falling on a stone. One drop does nothing, but a million drops, falling one after another, day after day, can carve a path through the hardest rock. In the same way, one consistent minute of practice every day will carve a new neural pathway in your brain. It will build a new habit, a new way of being. To begin, find a comfortable place to sit. It can be a chair, a cushion on the floor, whatever allows your body to be at ease. It is helpful to sit with your back relatively straight, but not stiff or rigid. Imagine a delicate thread gently pulling the crown of your head up toward the sky, creating a sense of length and dignity in your spine. Allow your shoulders to relax and drop. Let your hands rest comfortably in your lap, one on top of the other or on your knees. You can gently close your eyes, or if that is uncomfortable, you can simply lower your gaze toward the floor without focusing on anything in particular. Now, set the intention to be still for just 1 minute. You can use a timer if you wish, but choose a soft and gentle sound so it does not startle you. And for that 1 minute, you simply bring your full, gentle, kind attention to the feeling of your breath. Feel the inhale and feel the exhale. That is all. When your mind wanders, which it will, this is not a mistake. It is not a failure. It is simply what minds do. The moment you realize your mind has wandered is a moment of pure success. In that instant, you have woken up. And with that waking up, you very gently, without any scolding or frustration, guide your attention back to your breath. That is the entire practice. The wandering, the noticing, and the gentle returning. Each return is a repetition, strengthening the muscle of your attention, your mindfulness. 1 minute a day, a small gift of stillness you give to yourself, a small seed of peace that will grow to fill your entire life. Recalling presence. How does this simple act of watching our breath for 1 minute connect to something as complex as memory? The connection is not direct and mechanical, but it is profound and unshakable. Memory is not a file cabinet in your brain that has become rusty. Memory is a living process, and its foundation is presence. To remember an event, a face, a piece of information, you must first have been truly present when it occurred. You had to be there, not just physically, but with your attention. The problem in our modern world is that we are rarely fully present. Our attention is fragmented, split between a dozen different things at once. We are hearing a conversation, but we are thinking about our to-do list. We are seeing a beautiful sunset, but we are worrying about tomorrow. We are not fully encoding our experiences, so when we later try to recall them, the memory is faint, foggy, or absent altogether. It's like trying to take a photograph in a dark, blurry room. The 1 minute breathing exercise is training for presence. Each time you notice your mind has wandered and you gently bring it back to the breath, you are performing a fundamental act of remembering in the present moment. You are remembering your intention to be still. You are remembering to be where you are. As you practice this for 1 minute each day, you are cultivating a skill that begins to permeate the other 1,739 minutes of your day. You will find yourself more present in your conversations, truly listening. You will find yourself more present in your daily activities, truly feeling the texture of the vegetables you are chopping or the warmth of the sun on your skin. When you experience life with this level of presence, you are creating memories that are rich, vibrant, and deeply encoded. They are clear photographs taken in a brightly lit room. The practice doesn't fix your memory. It cultivates the fertile ground of presence from which strong, clear memories can naturally and effortlessly grow. You are not trying to regain your memory. You are regaining the quality of attention that allows memories to be born. It is a shift from effort and struggle to a state of being where life can be fully received and therefore fully remembered. Compassionate return. On this path, you will face challenges. There will be days when you sit for your 1 minute and your mind feels like a wild storm, more agitated than ever before. There will be days you feel restless, frustrated, or bored. There may be days you forget to do it altogether. This is all part of the journey. The most important thing to bring to this practice, even more important than the focus itself, is compassion. You must be gentle with yourself. Your mind has been practicing the habit of distraction for many, many years, for decades. It will not become perfectly calm and still in one day or even 1 year. To expect that is to set yourself up for frustration. Frustration creates tension, and tension is the very state we are trying to move away from. The goal is not to have a perfectly silent mind. That is not possible. The goal is the practice of returning. Each and every time you get lost in a thought and then you notice and you gently guide your awareness back to your breath, that is the victory. That single gentle return is the entire practice in microcosm. It is a moment of profound self-love and self-care. Think of how you would treat a small child who is just learning to walk. The child takes a step, stumbles and falls. Do you scold the child for falling? Do you say, "You are a failure at walking"? Of course not. You would gently smile, pick the child up, and encourage it to try again. We must treat our own minds with this same boundless patience and kindness. When your mind stumbles and falls into distraction, you do not scold it. You smile internally, you acknowledge the effort, and you gently, lovingly help it stand up again by bringing it back to the anchor of the breath. This act of compassionate returning is more important than achieving any state of perfect stillness. It changes your entire relationship with yourself. You move from being a harsh critic of your own mind to being its most patient and supportive friend. And in that friendship, in that gentle space free of judgment, your mind will finally feel safe enough to rest. Inner structure. And now we arrive at the final understanding, the deepest purpose of this 1-minute practice. At first, we came here seeking a way to improve our memory, to hold on to the precious moments of our lives. This is a beautiful and worthy goal, but the practice offers us something far more profound. This daily minute of stillness is not just an exercise, it is an act of construction. You are not just calming your mind, you are building an inner structure. You are cultivating a stable core, a center of gravity within yourself that is unmoved by the chaos of the external world or the turbulence of your own thoughts and emotions. Focus, clarity, peace, and yes, memory. These are not separate things to be acquired. They are like the leaves and branches of a great tree. What you are building with this practice is the trunk of that tree. You are strengthening your core relationship with your own awareness. Before this practice, you were likely identified with every thought, every emotion. You were a boat without a rudder, tossed about by the changing winds. Now, you are building that rudder. You are building that stable inner home you can return to, not just for 1 minute a day, but in any moment of difficulty or stress. This is the ultimate freedom. The true gift of this practice is not just remembering where you placed your keys. It is the rediscovery of your own authority over your attention. It is the realization that you are not the storm. You are the sky through which the storm passes. The real memory that you are regaining is far deeper than any memory of the past. You are remembering who you are at your very core, the silent, spacious, unwavering awareness that has been with you your entire life, witnessing every joy, every sorrow, every breath. That 1 minute of silence each day is a journey home to that essential self. This is the memory that truly matters. For years, I've been so frustrated with my brain fog and forgetting little things. I thought it was just a part of getting older I had to accept. Something about the way you explained this. It's not about fighting my mind, but being kind to it. The idea of the compassionate return made me cry. I just tried it for 1 minute, and for the first time in a long time, I feel a sense of hope. Thank you.